AV SuperFriends on Topic is an independent production wholly owned and operated by AV SuperFriends, LLC. For the highest quality recording of all of our shows, visit avsuperfriends.com. This is AV SuperFriends on Topic, a 30-minute monthly roundtable focused on a single topic. This discussion will be opinionated, to the point, and saturated with our well-known blend of painfully won expertise and deeply ingrained immaturity. For May 2026, but we're recording in April. We know it. It's the best-sounding and most audio-focused podcast in higher ed. This is the AV SuperFriends on Topic, episode number 70. Two good ones. 7D. 7D. Broadcasting live across the frequency spectrum from the low-end rumble to the high-end hiss. It's the podcast that knows bad gain structure can ruin a room faster than bad leadership ruins a department. So grab your headphones, check your mute status, and pray nobody routed the far end back into the program feed. I'm Chris Decker, and it's time for another Friday afternoon podcast adventure, and let's say hello to our panel of august AV super friends. Our first panelist,
Come on, push the
misfire.
button.
Our first panelist oversees institutional preparedness from the sacred moment for the sacred moment when someone says, "Can everybody hear me?" and nobody can. He's an executive director of playback readiness and speaker confidence from Kansas City. Say hello to Mr. Jamie Reinhardt. Whoa, sorry, misfire. Look at that.
The magic is all in the feedback loop.
You want to make sure you have that.
Special feedback.
Our next panelist specializes in making sure every guest speaker starts off their video with a laptop audio still selected instead of the room system. He's a senior audio experience curator from Corvallis, Oregon. Say hello to Mr. Mark Kolozinski.
I like to make sure everybody can experience just a little bit of sheer terror for a couple seconds just to start off every meeting, because that's the best way to get everybody awake.
Get your heart moving.
Right.
Get your blood pumping.
I just pushed the wrong button. Our next panelist coordinates low-frequency equity across campus, so no building is left without at least one room that mysteriously rattles when the volume is turned up past 80%. He's an associate dean for distributed woofer affairs from Greensboro, North Carolina. Say hello to Mr. Larry Darling.
Yep, I put woofers in every room, but it's just for looks. I don't actually wire them up.
Woofer affairs.
Woof, woof.
Not dogs, Justin.
Yeah,
No,
not dogs.
Our next panelist ensures every campus event, classroom lecture, and video conference is played at a volume that is somehow both too loud and yet not enough. He's a vice president for strategic loudness alignment from Bowling Green, Kentucky. Say hello to Mr. Justin Rexing.
At least 99 dog biscuits in every classroom. That has audio.
If we need audio.
If we actually need it, it's got to be 99 dog biscuits.
I do like that people are using dog biscuits. And finally, a special guest panelist. Special guest panelist who appears briefly to play pink noise, nod gravely at the ceiling speakers, and then leave before any actual troubleshooting begins. He's a distinguished He's a distinguished fellow for ceremonial test tone deployment from Chicago, Illinois. Say hello to Mr. Daryl Kroll.
Hello, everybody. Great to see you guys. We're talking who let the dogs out. We've got kind of a dog theme going today, so this will not be a dog podcast.
It might be.
Justin, how many dogs are in the room with you right now?
0.
What?
Yet.
Where
That
are
seems
said
weird.
dogs?
They're barking at UPS truck. You can't hear that?
No. So on
That's
today's
good.
show, we're going to discuss deploying audio in classrooms and why, however we do it, is wrong.
Oh, boy.
But first, a little bit of housekeeping. If you are listening to this as a recorded MP3, remember we do stream live on Fridays at about 3:15 Eastern to 12:15 Pacific, or whenever Mark finally finishes asking whether the room is getting enough coverage. You can join us live for that on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. If you can't join us live, we still want you to connect with us on the socials. Follow us on Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Also, Blue Sky for both of you over there. You can follow us there to keep up with the latest updates, news, fresh opportunities to hear us complain about bad speaker placement, uneven coverage, and the ongoing crime of relying on display audio in rooms built for actual humans.
Ooh.
Finally, don't forget to spread the word. Share this podcast with your friends, colleagues, enemies, perfect strangers, and especially that one person on campus who still thinks a pair of mismatched computer speakers can adequately cover his lecture hall. If you could go tackle people in public and force them to listen to a few dozen episodes, that'd be great. Consider it a public service announcement for better audio playback. If you want to support the show, please consider donating. Your contributions help us to keep bringing you the honest content you love or love to hate with more clarity and less compression than the average classroom speech reinforcement system. You can find the donation link in the show notes or on the website. And we're always eager to hear from you. So if there's a topic you want us to cover, loudspeakers, DSPs, speech intelligibility, conference room nonsense, event space disasters, why half the rooms out there sound like announcements being made from inside a trash can, all that stuff. Send us an email or comment on the social media. You can hit us up via email on or at mailbag@superfriends. Mailbag@avsuperfriends.com.
On here.
I'm scrolling and trying to do two things at once here. Finally, while you're listening to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you happen to find this, please leave a rating and review. That forces more people to hear what we're talking about. And like a properly designed distributed speaker system, it'll reach more listeners.
Lord.
So we think. We'll debate that about
you
in a
did
minute.
that.
So, and thank you for your support. We could not do this without you. And unlike some campus sound systems, at least we know where the audio is supposed to go. And now, and we don't normally do this, it's a little odd on an on topic, but we're going to do some news. Justin, sing along.
Justin.
Yeah. And our news is Daryl. He's right there. So Daryl reached out a few days ago and said, you guys are participating in this awesome event, and he wants to talk about why this event is, how it came together, the purpose and how it goes, and a little bit of background. There's a link in the show notes if you would like to register for it. But this is called the Global Higher Education AV Technology Days. And I think I got that right.
That is correct.
Scramble to check our calendars. Yeah.
And so the idea is we took 3 different organizations and smushed them together, and they said we can all share what we're doing and all that fun stuff, something like that.
So it's higher ed, AV, some kind of hot dog sandwich thing. What is?
Yes. What are you
Yeah,
talking
it's like an Italian beef sandwich with spaghetti on it or something. I don't know.
What?
But no, it's actually
With the
it's
jardiniere?
hot honey.
Does it have the jardiniere stuff on it? 'Cause you gotta have
It
that.
does have the jardiniere. You can get
Yeah.
it with or without garlic. But that's, and then if you put sprinkles on there or hot fudge or whatever, you could do
That
it.
bread has got to be soggy before you even attempt to eat that thing, and it's got to be like just sopping. That's the way I like it.
It's the AV mash.
Extra napkins. You'll need extra napkins.
Mhm.
But it's actually pretty exciting. I think everyone's familiar. A lot of people are familiar with the ETC here in the U.S. And there's ETC conferences in person. And then over the years, there's other organizations that they have cross-pollinated with, if you will. AETM, which is part of the Asian Pacific, as well as Australia. And then SCOMS is the similar type of organization for higher education in the UK. And about 2 years ago, we were talking at the Iowa State ETC conference. And we're like, hey, we should, because they would come to our conferences and we would go to their conferences. And so finally said, well, we should try and do something that is more of a global event. And so that was 2 years ago, kind of quieted down for a while. And then back in November, kind of reached out, because I'm still involved, very involved with ETC. But we're like, we should, kind of get the groups together and see, and we can pull it all together. And so, of course, the holidays hit. And then we fired up some serious conversations back in January. And so we finally said, look, here's what we want to do. We want to have this global AV tech event for higher education. And it's going to cover, 24 hours around the world, because we start in the US and then we go to the UK and then to Australia, and then we come back. And there's one section where all 3 organizations will be on the webinar at the same time. So it's kind of exciting.
Is this farm aid for AV? Is that what I'm hearing
I
right now?
love that.
Kind of.
Or Woodstock.
It is now.
Yeah. Are you the only person in the world with a membership to all 3 of these places? Like, is that what's going on here? Were you the glue that made this happen?
I think so, because I kind of kept on encouraging us to do it and push it forward. It was nice that Panasonic, Panasonic was already a member of those 2 other organizations. So when we were talking about it, and I reached out, so Panasonic is sponsoring this global event, and each of these regions for Panasonic are participating in it. So we're sponsoring the On24 platform, which is exciting, and we're the AETM is spreading the word, ETC is spreading the word, SCOMS is spreading the word. So you go to one, that was the other kind of challenge too. It's like, we just wanted one registration link, no matter where you're phoning in from, and then it's all going to be pulled together. The sessions will be recorded, because you're some of those presentations. I think that the gentleman from Australia is going to be like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, because we had to deal with, like, is it daylight savings time in Australia? Is there not daylight savings time? So it's like, okay, let's pull it all together. After about 4 renditions of here's what the schedule is, we finally were able to pull it together so that it wasn't too bad. Certainly, I think the U.S. has a better time schedule for some of the sessions than other folks maybe in Australia, but I'm sure they're used to that.
Yeah, I wonder what the master clock looks like for this event. This is going to be a nightmare.
We got the one person in the back who's got like Lily Tomlin. I'll date myself. She's at the switchboard. Okay, I'm switching over to Pacific time, and then I'm
Go now! Yeah, just go. Yeah.
But it's fun. I mean, the presenters please encourage everybody to take a look at the presenters. I think we have some AV SuperFriend rock stars that are happening, and just a great collaboration. And that's the other nice thing too, is that you'll be able to hear from some of the issues that are happening in the UK or some of the issues that are happening in Asia. And conversely, they're as excited, to hear about what's happening in the US. So I think it's really going to be a wonderful event.
I'm going to have to take a nap before the presentation.
I was just looking for that. Like, when are we actually presenting? Because now I can't remember when it is. And
it's like at midnight or something.
No, I think I'll tell you exactly.
It's early, I believe.
So the first session, let me pull that up.
Or maybe it's late. It's late for me. I don't know.
Yeah, first session is early. So the first session, I'll use Central Time. First session on April 29th is 9 o'clock Central. Then they jump over to AETM at 10. Then they go over to SCOMS at 1. There's a little bit of a break because we were trying to, people would, have to do some work or, try and align some of the time zones better. And then we have AETM at 2 p.m. Central. Then all 3 organizations are doing a fireside chat, and that is at 5 o'clock Central. And then there's another event at SCOMS, and you guys are wrapping it up with, which truly is going to be a great time, 10 o'clock Central. And that's 10 to 11.
Prime time.
You're going to get a lot more. You're going to get a lot more. Obviously not a lot more. You're going to get a lot of people from the U.S. obviously, but you're also going to get more exposure to grow listenership from Australia, Asia, and the UK. So I think it'll be cool.
Very cool. Yeah, looking forward to it. I think it's going to be fun. I think we are still updating our PowerPoints to make sure that it is the most relevant presentation we will be giving up to that moment.
We were also looking to increase our fan base in Uzbekistan too. So hopefully
we're moving up there.
We'll get
Kazakhstan.
We can have 100% increase.
I'll be curious to hear. I'll be curious to hear afterwards, like which was the best time zone to be in to catch as much content as possible.
Yeah, and we'll be able to kind of track that. Like I said, the sessions will be recorded, so they'll be available after, and that's another great, reason if you're an ETC member or if you're interested in becoming an ETC member, it kind of gives you that opportunity to access it if you were napping at 1 o'clock in the afternoon or something.
Wait, power through this thing, man. Energy drinks.
Yes.
Go.
So far, Mark's the one that's held up the best.
Yeah, I think for Mark, it's only 6 p.m. your time or something?
Yeah, it's going to be lovely.
7 p.m., something like that. That's not too bad.
No.
Or maybe it's 6, I don't know. 6 p.m.?
That's math I'll figure out in the morning of. It's going to be lovely.
That'll be
Regardless, regardless of what's going to happen, there's going to be a lot of like, oh, I thought that was in an hour sort of thing.
Wherever it's out on my calendar, when it pops up on my phone and it says, oh, I need to be somewhere in 15 minutes, that's when I'll worry about it.
I just hope I'm awake when my calendar alarms me that I need to be somewhere.
I'll send you a 5-minute warning.
You better call me.
Okay.
Don't text.
But I think it's going to be great, and I'm glad you guys are going to be a part of it, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Daryl, do you think this one is going to be the first of many of these sorts of events? Because this is kind of a cool idea. Take multiple regional orgs and globally, link them all together so you have this constant feed of content.
Yes. I mean, it's gone through all these different renditions. How do you do it? At first, we're like, we're going to do a 24-hour higher education webinar. It's going to be like, maybe that's not a good idea, right? We're going to have dogs. The dogs are going to be doing juggling and stuff. But yeah, this will definitely be the first of hopefully an ongoing long-term yearly event. And we've actually registered that as the name of the Global Higher Ed AV Technology Day. And then whether that's going to be, Chris's birthday or, Jamie's birthday, we're going to figure out what day that's going to be. But the actual name is already registered. So we do expect it to be not a one and done, but something that goes on for a long, long time.
Let's vote on that.
Have you thought about calling the Guinness Book of World Records to see if X amount of time zones for a conference, or like the longest conference virtual, or there's got to be some kind of something there.
We're going to get a record. We're going to get a couple records coming out
Yeah.
of this. That's a great idea. I will do some digging.
If this hasn't been done before,
Yep, first time.
I'm seeing opportunity.
I like it.
Let's do
I
it.
like the way you think.
All right, so link is in the Larry just posted. If you're listening live, it's in all the feeds. Link will be in the show notes. We'll certainly blast it on the social media, but keep an eye on the socials, both, or I guess under SCOMS, AETM, and ETC. Look for any one of those. They're all posting it. I suspect Panasonic is probably also posting some stuff about this as well. So look for that link, get registered, and it sounds like it doesn't matter which time zone you're in. Just go connect at some point, and there will be somebody there talking about something of interest to higher ed, AV, and IT people.
Right.
And the other great thing about that I'll point out, that when you do, wherever you're logging in from your time zone, it'll know, and it'll kind of tell you this is the time. So if it's 2:00 in the morning in Kazakhstan or whatever, then they're like, oh, let me go check that out. But it'll isolate it so that you kind of can keep an eye on it if you're not good with a 24-hour clock, which I'm typically not.
Get add on the fingers here. So.
Okay.
All right. Well, Daryl, thanks again for joining. This is very exciting. I think we're all interested in the event itself, and then of course the AV SuperFriends can make it worse at the end, so that'll make all the other presentations look better. But no, this sounds like a lot of fun, and I think we're all looking forward to it and want to see this be a successful thing that we can do year after year after year at weirder time zones.
Yes.
Can I present next year at 3 a.m.?
3 a.m.
Yes.
Mark it down for
3
Justin.
a.m. time slot.
Yes.
Gotcha.
That's what we're
Sign
going to
up
do.
for it.
Now we got to get it out there. And people are like, I want to be crazy, and I want to do a 3 a.m. presentation on how not to go to sleep.
From Iceland. Yeah, we want to send us somewhere remote. Yeah.
Yeah, we could do that. We could do live from anywhere.
Yeah.
It'd be
We got
cool.
the technology. Cool. All right.
Very
Daryl,
cool.
Super cool. We're excited to be a
Thanks,
part of
guys.
it. So,
You too.
yeah.
Thanks, Daryl.
Thanks,
Daryl.
Daryl. See you
Appreciate it.
soon, buddy.
All righty.
That is interesting. I don't think that's ever been done before, has it?
Nah, who knows?
I'm sure someone's tried. I just don't know how. I'm
Like I know Infocom used to partner with UB Tech or whatever back in the day, and they had similar things, but it was friendly but not friendly, and
How is it
all
not
that.
friendly?
Yeah.
it's
What
They
happens?
talk
It's not
bad about
Can you
him behind their
describe
back.
friendly? I don't know what that even looks like. Okay.
manufacturers over here, but you're not in ours, and why are you?
Oh,
What the
you know,
hell? And
identity crisis things.
yeah,
That's true. At a certain point, I do remember going back and forth, especially in Vegas. It was easier because it's all on the strip there. But in Orlando, trying to go back and forth between UB Tech and Infocom, it's a mess.
Sign up for a
Well,
section over here.
good news. These are all virtual, so you just jump around to whatever. I guess there's not concurrent sessions. It's just a string of sessions. So
Non-stop rock.
this is where I would
24
love to
hours.
say I know what time I'm presenting, but I don't.
Yeah, like I said, we'll find out that morning when that's going to happen. I remembered it being somewhat earlier in my time, but I could be completely wrong. I was wrong once. Earlier today. Yeah.
All righty. Well, let's see. Why are we here? We've got a topic this month because this
Topic
is
of the day.
on topic.
Topic
It's topic of the month, Jamie.
The month.
There's a jingle.
which came from you, Jamie.
And
This
this
is
month's
Mark's
topic.
fault.
This is Mark's fault. This started a debate about about 3 weeks ago. Just out of nowhere, it became a very passionate shouting match at each other as to how we do audio in our.
this isn't
teaching
where it
spaces.
started, though.
That's not where it
No,
started. And
no.
I don't think that's like the
Oh,
correct
okay.
exact way. See,
All
this
right.
is how it all went sideways.
No,
Justin
you
went
asked a dumb
ballistic
question.
on people.
Yeah,
I
what was
didn't
the
ask a
question?
dumb question. You asked a
Not-
dumb question.
Mark asked a dumb
What was
question.
a dumb question, Jamie? Remind me, because I ask a lot of dumb questions.
You said, "What are you all doing for sound in rooms?"
I think it was it speakers specifically?
Like, we
Yes,
do
you
speak-
go.
It was
Yes.
speakers.
How do you feel about
specifically.
JBL speakers or something dumb
Yeah.
like that?
It was something
stupid.
like it was around cans versus point source, and it just erupted into a whole back channel of nonsense. And
We
heated.
answered, and then Justin went off on us.
Oh yeah, we were all clearly wrong based on uniform coverage standards, blah blah, whatever that may be. But yeah, I was curious around ceiling cans or not, or just having some speakers at the front of the room, and then we
It's
got
diapers,
into
Mark. It depends.
I know. And then, are we doing speech lift? Are we not doing speech lift? Or do we still do speech just from the cans, or are you doing it from the front as well? And
I do speak only in my stubs.
Why are you doing speech from the can?
right, because I'm lazy.
What can?
No.
What are you
The-
talking about, Chris?
The
I like it.
can.
No
Yeah.
one-
I
You
like
get
to
the
sit on the
string
can and
between
just
them.
pontificate verbally and
So I think there's several different things going on here, and so let's start with the ceiling cans versus speakers on the head wall. Where are we at on this? And let's pick the simple solution. And I don't want not depends by location. That's not a viable answer here. Let's take a small classroom. And whatever you're
What's your
conjuring in
ceiling
your
type?
mind,
Every time, define
What's-
that.
What's
small
your ceiling
classroom.
type?
With
The
drop
30
ceiling.
seats.
The
30
same
seats.
that Jesus had, a drop ceiling and everywhere else in a little tiny 25 by 25 room. Yeah.
Ceiling speakers. That's our standard. That's what we go with.
Okay. Jamie, play your cards. Let's see them.
Both.
Both all the time?
Every room has both.
Why?
There for a while I did. I don't do that much.
But
anymore.
only one program speaker.
Or what
No,
were you
there was-
smoking while you were doing that?
So probably 60% of all rooms have ceiling cans, voice lift. Wow. Of some sort, 70 volt voice lift. And it's voice lift. I'm going to say that again. It's
Voice lift.
Voice lift. Period. Voice lift. And then I did have point source at the front. And I was one of those fools who ran left and right. Now that was back when we had
Oh my God.
Blu-ray discs and analog outs from computers.
I need it
and-
for movie mode.
Yes, I need it for
Yes,
movie
I can
mode.
see this. Okay.
So everyone in that room has the same experience, no matter where they sit.
I want
Absolutely not. Just like the movie theater.
I
You
want to come
spend
back to that.
$40 a ticket to go into the movie theater and sit in shitty spots. So why not in the
No, you
classroom?
don't. You stand in line or get your reserved seats.
Oh my God.
I
This
like
is
sitting
the good
up in
old
back
days.
right near a surround speaker. I want to hear what's going on.
I
I like
want.
to find the sub and just cozy up next to that. That's
I only want to hear
premium
the
experience.
helicopter out of the left channel. I don't like it out of the right channel. It makes me feel weird.
So
Easiest and cheapest is not always right either.
I have tinnitus, so I
Now here recently, it's
I'm not sure what the answer to this
it's
was.
mostly ceiling voice lift speakers, and we don't
that's-
do the front cans in small rooms. In big rooms, I do have a proper set of program speakers, and I'll still use ceiling cans for voice lift to get it all the way back.
Exactly.
I might even delay said cans and have
By each
extra
row.
Whoa.
program audio come through, but
Okay.
That's just
But primarily voice lift.
I'm taking the other
primarily
side of this
voice lift.
spectrum where it's a lot of our rooms, but I'm not. I don't
But
have the
30-seat rooms now-
exact number in front of me, but those small rooms, some workhorse JBLs bolted on the
Yeah,
front head wall, blowing across the room.
oh
the
no.
smallest gibbles you can get
23s.
up in the
Put
corner.
it out
Yep,
there.
those damn 23s.
Price
No.
because they're all sociopaths.
and
Oh,
it
just
actually
I've not even
works.
gotten to my stuff yet. You cool it.
No.
It works.
No.
No,
It does.
Why? You can put two ceilings in, cover everybody the same.
And
Yeah.
that may
What
be
ceiling?
that may be the case. However,
I don't even know why you're bitching. You don't even use speakers.
Yeah.
What's your ceiling height? 35 feet?
The Extron sound field, flat fields, they cover. Like
this is
it's-
why this topic happened, everybody. This is
it's-
now you see.
They're the standard 9.5 to 10 feet, and then you get the coverage cones. It's a 30-seat room.
Let's
Sometimes
go.
you can get to 4, but you don't need it. Like Larry said, those 4-inch or
any of you
in
measured
Extron's
any of
case,
the
the
shit that you
crappy
do?
3-inch cans will get 180 degrees. Don't you know?
Do you
It's
actually
180
measure the
degrees
shit
for
that you
two
do?
frequencies, 3,000 and 2,000 K, but that's all right.
No.
That's fine.
Don't measure, test.
So
Why would you do that?
Sound.
You
Just
don't
that,
test
and
every standard classroom.
I do my calculators to know
Not
how many
every
speakers
one,
need
but
to
like
put
if
in.
you're gonna do some weird shit that Jamie just talked about, like what's
it's
the
fine.
effect of this?
It's fine. I test every single one of them. I go, yep, good.
You're half
That-
deaf.
that's the official designated SAR method.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
right. Yeah.
And if it's 3/4 up on the volume control and it's too loud, we're perfect.
Slightly painful.
In what seat?
Perfect.
Oh, well, I've covered
Yes.
everything. I have a big echo
It's
chamber.
brute force
I mean,
sound.
it's covered.
just
Don't worry about
cover
it.
the room with as much as you can.
Intelligibility. It's a 30-seat room that's made out of concrete blocks and linoleum floor.
That's why you should pay attention to it.
All right, smart guy, what do you got?
Like I said, it depends. For a
No,
30 by 30
No,
room,
no.
it doesn't. It doesn't
Yeah, it
depend.
does.
It's a 30 by 30 room
With a
small
drop
classroom
ceiling.
with ACT. Yep, that's what we got.
the drop ceiling, we are either in the 4 to 6 speaker range for 6.5-inch cans.
Mhm.
There is no front wall speakers.
I understand what the
Everything's
calculator tells me to do, Justin. That's not what I'm asking you. What do you
And everything
actually
is
have?
plus or minus 3 dB, and everybody hears at the same level.
How many rooms do you have that are this exact way?
One.
And a half.
My rooms?
Yeah.
Is that me question?
I'm not sure how to answer this question. Where you work most often for your week, the rooms
I didn't
in
know
which
you were
you
talking
do
to me or
things-
Larry.
You.
You,
You're the
what's
one.
the percentage of rooms you would have that you'd think meet this criteria?
That are classrooms that meet the 30 by 30 criteria that are drop ceilings.
That have
within
this supposed depends on 4 to 6 ceiling cans equally
I would say
distributed across
probably
the ceiling.
80%,
Okay.
90%. The other 10 to 20% don't have speakers because they can't afford it.
All right.
I do some math and try to figure out
Yeah.
the correct coverage area, but
Keep them
is
away
not
from the
exact.
walls as much as possible.
So no, let's,
I have
If
modeling
you put them close
templates
to the
that I've
wall, you
done.
get a better reflection angle.
You aim them off the wall. I
Every-
tell you, it might get some
anytime-
delay off of that.
Yeah. Anytime that I do sound for a new shaped room, I drop it in ease and I save that as a template. And then when it
What?
comes up again, when it comes up again, I've got it and it's already done. Now,
Okay.
will the
What are these
speaker
new
models
shapes you guys
change a
are
little
inventing?
bit? Maybe. But the general guide of how I do an auditorium, how I do a generic classroom, how I do a larger classroom with really low ceilings. I have one that's a 50 by 40 classroom with 8-foot ceilings. I probably have
You have to
20 to
drop that in
25
ease.
speakers in that bitch.
Is that in a basement?
It's on the top floor of a.
You know you can build
building.
up, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Did they run out of money?
You're acting like I'm the architect of this thing.
Sightlines in that room must who cares
Oh,
about
dude,
what you can
sightlines
hear?
are bad. We struggled providing designs for that for years.
Is there any
that
way they could
part.
add a column like in the middle?
They fucking do. It's a round. It's a round column.
Can you just
hug,
surround that
and you
with
can't-
speaker?
I've got long arms and I can't touch my fingers when I hug it because I was trying to measure it. I remember that. It was right in the middle. It's not exactly in the middle. It's like halfway back, but on the 1/3 side of the room. So if you sit in the back left quadrant, you're like not learning accounting back there. Because they're writing on the whiteboards. This is the whiteboard room that I talked about with the, oh yeah, come up and read that and sit in the back and read. It's that same room. So,
They can hear
anyway.
everything.
You default to, in most rooms, you default
Yeah, they
to
can hear
ceiling
all the
speakers.
accounting numbers. They just can't see them. That makes no sense.
You default to
So-
ceiling speakers.
Well,
In
yes,
most rooms.
most
In
rooms. Auditoriums, I always try not to do fills, but sometimes I have to get the
Yeah.
plus minus 3 dB, but I
I think-
try to get everything from the front. And it sometimes just doesn't work out.
I think
just did
large
one.
spaces are it's a little more customized.
I
But
just
for the
did one though.
Cracker Jack box things, it's pretty basic.
We had a integrator come in, I don't know, 10 years ago, throw up some Rinkus Hines on the front wall in this auditorium. And
Oh boy, they were
it
the
just
steerable
wasn't,
ones.
and it's
weren't
not Rinkus Hines is bad. It's just not the right speaker for the space. And it just wasn't getting to the back. And they kept complaining. I was like, look, if you want it done right, we got to just redo the audio system and I'll drop it in ease and I'll make sure the numbers match. And if the numbers match, you should be happy. So I dropped everything in, gave them the option. They griped and complained about the price. We had to put like 8 to 10 foot column arrays on each side wall, which is stage level, and they had to be 4 foot off the ground, which is terrible. I know, but it sounds.
But you
amazing.
got it.
It's got it, and everybody's like loving it, and they can have more events in there and not complain, and that's the goal, is just making sure you get it right. So,
Well, I feel like that's underpowered for
No
the event
delays.
space.
No
We're
delays
talking
in
like
there.
we want the full thing. We want
So,
trussing.
Mark, why do you go
Yeah.
with 2-point source on the front instead of ceilings?
Yeah.
This is baffling me. Why do you
instead of
choose the
ceiling,
front?
my ceiling is 30 foot in the air.
That's
and
not
it's a
there.
That's a,
60
that's
foot.
a different
In
space.
his
Not there.
standard
We're
room.
going back to the original question.
Smaller
What,
space.
mine? Me?
No, Mark's.
Mark.
No.
Yeah.
Because it's probably the SAR method, to be 100% honest. And I think there's diminishing returns at a certain point. Now, is it technically right versus right enough to actually be adequate? We can go in there. And a lot of this came out of ease, not the ease software, but like deployment,
Ease
of
ease
install.
focus.
ease of install, right? And,
So
and,
what-
and it's not the wrong, like we're obviously doing this out of malice, but the smaller spaces, traditionally they didn't have speech lift. They didn't have all that. It was literally deployed as content playback. What do we need as content playback in a space like that? Minimum is what it kind of defaulted as. And that's where it
Because I
came
don't
from.
find it any easier to put them on the front wall and to drop it. Now, that said, I've been defaulting to the drop-in tiles.
Same.
Right. And I think that this is kind of where that conversation picked up. And we talked about that price for
lay-in
deployment.
speakers on the front wall. That's how you
There you go.
You know, I'll be honest, I don't really give a shit about how easy something is.
What?
Clearly.
What?
Clearly. Yeah.
You don't
So-
get complaints for. Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah,
have
I
to do
get
it.
complaints.
But you don't care.
No.
Okay.
He's not there doing it. He doesn't give a shit.
Now, do I listen and take in those complaints? Yeah. And would I change my method? Potentially. Now, would I sacrifice the students' experience or the audience
Oh,
experience
glad
for
you added that
it
in.
being ease?
For sure.
Nope.
No.
Nope. It's not happening. And every time that I do a system now and I apply physics to it, I don't have to worry. I sleep at night and I always get, good feedback. It's never no complaints since I've been doing physics.
So
on
that
Feedback's
means
typically
your
bad.
feedback is actually at a better frequency than my feedback?
Sure.
It's higher edged. No, I think it's as you started off, Justin. It depends. Like we didn't even kind of get into criteria to have like voice lift or not voice lift and all these things. And I think that drives a lot of what's going on here. Is that the smaller classrooms historically did not have voice lift. They did have microphones and such in them for ADA capacity, but it was not there for speech lift in the actual class itself.
Do you all
What's your all's cutoff for voice lift? Because mine keeps dropping. Anything with 40, or actually now it's 30 or more, we just automatically add it.
Larry, when
Oh.
you say voice lift, you mean
What?
capability or actively deployed?
Actively deployed.
If it's
Yeah.
not a sound bar in my space, if it's not a sound bar, it's got voice
If
lift.
it's not a conference room, then it has it.
Yeah,
So that wasn't always the case here. And I think that's
That wasn't the case here either. I'm like,
yeah.
Oh,
I think
rules
Well,
are
mileage
that's
always
why
vary on
I've
that.
been. I mean, look, we've talked about. Been overbuilding for years, but it's covered my rear in most cases, and I'm okay with it. But
Do you all have like a ton of dead battery microphone tickets that you have to contend with regularly?
No, those don't get tickets. We delete those.
no.
since we have part timers that go around, most days the batteries are refreshed or charged. When they do the system checks.
How
Oh
about
yeah, you guys
broken
go in
mic-
early, like at 5 a.m, and check
Still
all
a
the
little
spaces.
nuts.
They don't have they don't have to, Aaron. They don't have to have voice lift and assisted listening system. It's best effort.
No, just
and we have a
live.
whole department of students. This is no joke. We don't have a lot of hearing assistance systems in our classrooms because our best effort is our ADA office has
Your
student
office.
workers, and whenever we get a request, the student worker goes out and they
And
write
the
down
ex-
all the notes and and all that stuff. Now is
Wait,
it
what?
yeah, or they do interpretations.
We have DAS office who goes out and
Yeah.
checks for accessibility and features and
Yep.
make sure that they're getting
And they'll
that
sit there with the
space.
student and transcribe notes that the teacher's talking if they can't hear correctly, if they get a complaint, there's no hearing assistance in a room. So we don't have to have hearing assistance in every classroom.
You have to have the
we
capability.
We
I've
deploy
stopped
it when needed.
Yeah, I've,
And
Yeah,
I've stopped
deploy when
installing it.
needed.
It was
but
part
even
of
if
my-
it's not
was part-
deployed, and we can't, they send people there to circumvent that.
Well, it was part of my standard for years and years and years and years and years. I have hundreds of these things out there. And about 2 years ago, I just stopped because A, they don't get used. And B, several of the students I talked to about it, as well as our DSS office, the students themselves hate those systems.
Yes.
Because now they have to self-identify.
Yep.
Now they have to make them, they have to wear the goofball headsets or something. And yes, there's ways to plug it in or get it to your phone. I get it. Oh, put in a hearing loop and it talks right. Yeah, I get it.
Sometimes.
Wait, you guys aren't doing underground concrete loops? In all your
Yeah, I'm putting
classrooms?
loops in every freaking room. Yeah, that's not happening ever.
I don't want to make this
tearing
an
up concrete
ADA
to do that?
discussion.
No, I'm just going to say, but we do provide the capability. So when that request comes in, just like you said, Justin, when the request comes in, we can go install one in the rooms that need it. And we bought a bunch of the Bluetooth ones to get Bluetooth in the room because those are already compatible with their hearing aids and they can use it. And they don't have to like self-identify and all that.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, yes. So it's that best effort. We make the effort. I'm not going to light up every space to have that stuff permanently installed. But
Yeah.
when the request is there, we will get it installed very shortly, within a day or two at most. So, yeah.
So, Chris,
balancing
what
cost.
are you doing? You're the only one that we really didn't.
You
Who?
know my answer to this. It's a
What?
two-parter. 720p mono. Everyone.
Mono
gets
can mean
mono.
that can mean all
Yeah,
kinds.
mono
of
can be
in.
lots of places.
Okay,
I have
fine.
72 channels of mono.
That's right. Yes. No, I actually go around. In fact, I did a site walk this morning with some integrators who are bidding on some projects. And as part of the scope, they are removing program speakers because I am removing program speakers from rooms. Those point source speakers at the front of the room that were never tuned properly and don't do anything. It's all coming out. You get an even sound field from the ceiling all the way down on all your content. Voice lift, program audio, I don't care what it is. Now, larger auditoriums, that's different, but in most rooms, even up to 75 seats or whatever, even sound field at the ceiling, down to the speech or to the seating level, no point source speakers in the front. So the,
All right,
the
I got
number
a
of point
question.
source speakers I've installed in the last 2 or 3 years, I'd say probably 20 maybe. So
Okay.
So Larry brought up, and this was what I remember from our last argument is, if you're really starting to get down and do some crunchy math here, you got a presenter in the front of the room with the students in the front and they talk and the presenter talks and the student hears them directly before the mic and all that stuff and loudness and all that. So question is, do you all zone your speakers
If
or
the room-
how you want to duck the front row and then do
If
it?
the room is
You don't
big enough.
zone
If the
them
room's
front to
big enough.
back. You go left to right, follows the rows, right? So that I can bring this down a little bit versus the back and still have plus minus 3 dB. And that's what I mean about balancing everything out.
If the room
And
is
Justin,
big enough.
again, like I think me and Jamie are really leaning into the voice lift, and you're going sound reinforcement. Like,
I'm doing voice lift plus program.
yeah,
yeah, I don't want
Is
when
that different?
it is.
It is
actually.
according to James or Larry and Jamie.
It is on the the definition of them.
No, I know that the sources are different, but at the end of the day, I'm making noise.
Moving
out of
Everybody
a thing
We are
hears-
that's moving.
moving air.
Yeah.
End of the day.
Equally in the space.
Everybody hears equally, but that doesn't mean that everybody gets exactly the same thing. It just doesn't. Like
wanna
the
play
people in the
devil's
front
advocate
row,
here
I
just
don't
for a
need to
moment.
hear the instructor coming above me. That's distracting. That adds cognitive
Could I
load.
interest you in a Meyer sound constellation? I'll have
No.
this one soon.
So
I can
I'm
wrap you like a warm hug.
I want to go back
But
to
if-
like that small space because I think we're teetering into these larger spaces.
Yeah, the larger spaces
Yes.
all become
Yeah.
a different thing.
I don't want to have in the small, seemingly most affordable cookie cutter style system you're doing a lot of. I'm sensing a diminishing return of all this excessive widgetry in here, moving air, which arguably is competing with just my mouth in the room. Like how much more do I need to carry my voice 30 feet? Like I get it. There's soft-spoken people, but I understand all that. But at a certain point, are we doing a sanity check? Like, are we really needing that much? And I don't care what the computer says. Do you need it in that space to actually have a functioning learning space?
That's what physics tells me.
Physics told you that, or did your computer tell you that?
Physics. I can get the same answer with my hand and a pencil that I can with a computer.
Right. So I think
So if
it's
as long
about
as the
that, like,
instructor's voice can be heard at X decibel with the last row, and the first row, whether it's coming from the speakers or directly from that instructor's mouth, that's the goal.
I mean, have you
doesn't
stood
matter.
at the front of this concrete room with a tile floor or whatever it is and just whispered and see how it just reverberates across that room? I feel like usually it's not about more audio. It's probably less audio in these spaces.
Again, physics. What do the physics
But
say?
I think you're making choices that are implying
What's my
additional
noise
stacks
floor?
of technology in spaces. I have a hard time believing you absolutely need to have these things widespread across campus.
I also have a hard time believing you measure the noise floor in every room you're going to do that summer.
When it's a loud room, I do. Because we walk in and a lot of our rooms have self-contained air conditioner units that sound like a semi truck driving by.
Wow.
And people say, I want to turn this into a Zoom room. Okay.
Yeah,
hold
we
on.
say no at that point, but like,
No, I can't say no. Remember, I'm not allowed to say no with how we're funded here because they have money and they want to do something. By God, we got to do it. And so I'm like, okay, if you do this, this thing is at 87 decibels right now. That means I have to pump in 96 decibels for you to hear it, which means we have to cut off the fire alarm. Do you want to spend 50 grand on this sound system? No.
And go to
Okay,
jail.
good. And that's how we say no.
Now, I will say, when I walk into a room and I hear "Thank You, Good Night" from the performance that was going on last night, because it's still reverberating around in there, yes, we're going to take a different tack in here.
Yes.
But no, I don't measure every room. I measure outliers and weird things that I come up with or come across that I haven't done before. Now, everything that I come across has been measured once,
One time.
at least once.
Okay.
in an empty space without any.
So let's go
Which
back
is
and
the worst case scenario.
recap a little bit of where we got here today.
I don't understand what the problem.
Mileage may vary. Sounds like there's a mix. But I'm sensing ceiling cans are kind of back in vogue again.
Were they
Not can't.
Ceiling
Yeah, again,
speakers,
not-
not cans.
not
Speakers,
cans.
Sorry for the
Yeah,
the
I've
mishap.
completely. I'm like, if I have to cut a round circle, I'm out.
My
Yeah,
team
exactly.
hates cans. We don't do them.
Okay, so
We're being technical here.
lay in speakers that fit cleanly within the 2/4 whatever grid. Are you putting the trim piece in them? Do they look
Yeah.
clean, or are you just
Look,
dropping them in there with a
depending on
ragged
the
edge?
model, they
The
don't have
thing
trim
is
pieces.
they're good enough. They're
Right
good
there.
enough.
See,
They
and
are
there it
not
is.
high quality. I mean, these are contractor grade. They're good enough. They're easy to install. They usually do enough that I need them to do within the frequencies I need to do them in. And
How much are we willing to spend for good enough? I think
$100.
That is
There
where
you
it
go.
all comes down to, is how we got into this mess.
$100 per speaker
Yeah.
for the whole audio
Per
system?
speaker.
speaker.
$100. That's your price.
or less.
There you go.
Like a pair for
100 bucks.
180.
Mine are like
That's
1
$100
to
bucks,
150, depending on whatever, but they're around
Up
that.
to $199 is $100. Let's be real.
150, something like that.
I'm saying it's
Because-
easy math to do. I need 8 speakers in this room. It's $800.
I had a manufacturer ask me not too long ago, so would you guys be interested in 2x2s? Yeah, as long as
Sure.
you're not trying to make it concert grade, make it good enough, and I'll buy a crap load of them. If you try to make it concert grade and charge me $500 a pop, you can keep them, put them in the warehouse.
Now you got to be real careful because those 2x2s, they can get really shitty. I bought some.
Oh,
I won't
yeah.
mention the manufacturer.
I found some.
I had to throw them away from a new
Yeah.
job and just buy new ones. It was so
No,
These
there,
are so
there are
bad.
there are different levels, but if you buy from manufacturers that we're pretty comfortable with and they're at the right, they're fine. They're fine. They're good enough.
I have
Yeah.
a stack sitting in a warehouse that after the one room we did, I was like, nope, these are just
Yeah.
going to sit here until.
Does the manufacturer begin with a Q by chance?
No, I
No?
don't think so.
Okay.
So
Out
we'll
of
have to compare
Chicago?
notes
I know who
later.
you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about?
Is it four letters out of Chicago?
But I don't know where they're from.
So you're
I
telling
have
me,
a handful of those. They are okay.
Is it the Quam ones?
so
There
you,
you go.
you're telling me
We're
you
trying
can,
to walk around it, but thanks, Jamie. There goes that sponsorship.
Now,
'Cause
again,
I can't even believe you guys bought 'em, but-
manufacturers make different types of 2x2, so I might have just bought like the worst possible grade of, and that's just what they sell, and they're probably like, yeah, that's, you shouldn't have never bought those for a classroom.
Even they're like, dude,
Dude, why?
I'm telling
okay.
you, mount those
Yeah.
on the front wall. They're fine.
so
It's
enough
got
good enough will
infinite
get
baffle.
you great. Is that what I'm hearing? Enough good enough gets to great as long as
Good
you put
enough
in
get you
there.
there.
I mean, I'm not arguing that good enough is wrong. It's definitely right. It's just make sure you know what you're doing with some numbers and you'll be fine.
Well, you're saying stack a bunch of good enough stuff up there, blow the thing out so it registers in green on my screen, and then we're good to go.
Yep.
If I can hit
Okay,
101
that's it.
dB in
That's
every
it.
classroom at every seat, and I'll dial everything back, we're
You're doing
We're good.
101 decibels per seat. What the hell
Why
is going
would
on
you
there?
ever do that?
I'm just going to get a reaction.
So you're
from
saying
y'all.
your
Do
goal
it.
is to have everybody who's wearing an Apple Watch or a Google smartwatch, whatever, to get that
You
little
know
alert
that
that
commercial
something-
where that guy's sitting in that
Quick
chair
figure
and he's looking at that TV
Oh,
and
the
it's
old-
blowing his hair
Yeah,
back?
yeah, Max.
Max-
This
So-
is I'm doing it and it's blowing everybody's hair down. It's
Yeah.
audience
I,
came from the ceiling.
I do not think that's the way to approach it.
No, but I mean
But
that's
you will get measurements.
Yeah.
and
I
it'll-
do look
it-
for
Yeah, but he
maximum
runs all the
dB that
faders
I-
down to like 25%. He's fine.
And then next year he just takes all the speakers out and puts in ASLs because they all have hearing aids.
Now, some of our
Cycle of
classrooms
life.
can get to 100 dB, but we dial those back, and it's just because the equipment that's in there. It's just
You can
is what
hear
it
the
is.
transformer melting.
Yeah,
The chalk
They're not
dust is just
allowed-
bouncing up and down
Yeah,
on the chalkboard.
we don't allow them to turn it up that loud.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Next you're going to tell me you guys are doing this all with low impedance.
Yeah.
Home runs, every one of them.
Series parallel.
Which
It'll
Wedged
get you
into
there
a
every
giant
time.
Euro block. Just
The biggest snake going
it
to
up.
the lectern ever.
how many times
And I
have
just
you
buy
all-
car amps because they're stable down to quarter ohm. We're good.
Oh, I got a question. How many times have you all had to wire in a bunch of speakers in a series parallel configuration because the integrator put in 4 ohm, 8 ohm speakers and there was 50 of them in a ceiling, and he
No,
wired them up all
why? What are
in
you
parallel
doing?
they were all
I've-
home run. Oh.
and all home run or all in parallel, and
Oh
you're
my
like, you know
God.
what? I'm just going to do a little bit of math, and we're going to rewire this to series
Nope.
parallel, series
So
parallel.
Justin, I ran
You
into
ever done
that.
that?
Oh.
I ran into that scenario 2 years ago in a space, and of course, I saw ceiling speakers throughout the space, and it's,
Yeah.
I'm assuming
Oh,
it's
it's sure
single
70
channel.
volt.
They were
Wrong.
wired in series, 70 volt. You know, everything was fine. No, they were all low impedance. They were all wired, and they were mixed too. And they,
Yeah.
like
What'd you
all
do?
wired home runs back to these giant blocks. I'm like, what is happening?
What did you do?
I replaced every speaker.
All
and
of
then,
You
it.
did? Oh,
and then
see, I would-
rewired them because I didn't
Do I
want to deal with
replace
that.
them? With the client didn't have the money to replace them,
Oh, no.
but we were
College of
It was
Business.
on-
They had the money.
yeah. So we're like, I don't know what to do.
And
I
we've
guess
already
we-
established my budget for ceiling speakers. So
that was a good learning opportunity for some installers on how to do. home
So that's
to
what I did.
wall.
I had a brand new
No.
technician and a couple of the lead student, and a couple other students. Like, hey guys, this is what you get to do for the next few days, and they now know ceiling speakers left, inside out, left
Yeah.
and right, and they can do them. So
Hey, Justin, I haven't done 50, but when I was doing installs at an integrator, I was sent off to program a system that was done. And I was the only one there at that job site. And it was like 3 hours away from our office. And there were 12 speakers, and they were like that.
Oh,
and so
God.
I did the math and I
Did you
rewired
do
them.
series parallel?
I did. Yeah. I was like, I'm not coming. I'm not driving back here. I'm going to fix this right now. And
How long did that take you to? Did you?
it
Spend
took me a while
about-
to figure out what was happening,
math
why
on-
everything sounded weird.
yeah, why everything
Yeah.
sounded weird. What's going on?
amp kept doing weird things. Like, what the hell is
I
happening
climb
right
up
now?
there and I was like,
You immediately get the overprotection light come
Yeah,
on
it's
on
like,
the
I
amp.
can't
Like,
turn this
what
thing
is
on.
happening?
Yeah, by the way, the number of times I've gone into a room and found like, hey, there's a 70 volt or a 4 ohm, 8 ohm amp, whatever, and the opposite type of speed. I'm like, and these have been in here for years. Like, no wonder it sounds. What has happening here? So, it's not difficult, people.
We've replaced this amp 4 times. I wonder why.
Yeah, there's that. Like, these amps keep
Something's
blowing.
wrong with this room. We just keep blowing. through
Well,
the
I've
amps.
told you guys a number of times. I go into a room and there's like an old Crown or AKG or whatever, but there's like a 600 watt amplifier and there's
70
4
volt.
ceiling speakers, and I think it's because
that's
the
my
same-
that's my 100 dB room, bro.
It's like that's
No.
that's
I think it's because the
600
same
watts.
comp-
That's 70
If
70
you
volt.
don't
You're
have
good.
a tour grade rack of Crown Macrotech amps in every one of your classrooms,
Those
burning
things
away
were
back there,
bulletproof.
Well,
you're
and I
doing
think
it
it's
wrong.
because this company kept blowing speakers and amps, and they were just like, "Well, just buy a bigger one so it doesn't do that anymore." I'm like, "That's not."
You're
how
eventually
this
going to fry that
works."
one too. It doesn't. It's not how that works.
So, and then
No, those
when I
Macrotechs will
when I
take
show my
anything.
team, we're
You
putting
can
in those
throw
tiny little
anything
amplifiers.
at 'em, they
so-
don't care. Yeah.
Those Macrotechs were amazing.
yeah.
I may have wired one of those things up completely backwards, like phasing one time, and
We're going to run this at 100 volts,
Oh.
Euro style.
I-
See how it
I-
holds up.
Do these plus minuses matter? Nah.
So
No.
when you're doing live rock and roll time
They
into
don't,
like
as long as you do them all the same. It'd be fine.
I
a panel and you just have like
completely abused one of
wacky
those.
shit,
Just
yeah.
learning stuff like, I wonder what this will do. Oh man, I am just amazed at what those macro techs used to do.
buy them by the pound.
Imagine the amount of stores we
Oh.
have just on speakers.
Yes.
Oh man. Well, Mark, did we answer any questions for you?
No.
Mark's not
Oh.
changing his stance. He believes everyone else
You have
is
not.
wrong.
You have not proved it. No.
What is there to prove? You don't prove or like. it's
I think
physics.
we've proved the fact that good enough will take us to the
There we
future.
go.
Mark hates voice lift. Mark hates even coverage. Mark doesn't care if you can't hear the instructor.
Nor does the instructor. So we'll
If
start
Mark,
there.
can't
Yeah.
hear, if Mark can't hear it, nobody should be able to hear it.
Well, Mark can't actually hear anything.
I know. isn't it?
I did live sound for way too many years. Yeah.
It's like Mark and I go to these shows and our headphones are like, oh my God.
Whenever we're here, Chris is like, "Turn your fucking headphones down." Jesus.
Put on Mark's
You're,
headphones
you're
that one
closed.
year.
You're somehow your closed can headphones that come back through your damn microphone.
I get feedback in my office just because my cans are too loud.
How do you and your wife talk at night? Does
What?
she scream
They
at you?
text.
What?
They just text.
Just
They,
text?
they have individual little megaphones.
We don't. We have
They've
kids.
got
We don't
kids,
talk.
they don't
It's just
talk.
Kids going crazy. Yeah.
Usually it's good night and it's a head nod.
Yeah. Wow.
All
So
right.
anyway, yeah.
They,
No, I
they
think-
get their megaphone and they use that.
yes. Isn't that how all your
That's how
customers
Jamie's
sound?
rooms sound.
Yeah.
No, better.
Hey, the E says it's
Better.
fine because it says it's green.
Yeah.
At the back
I
of the room.
ran the ease
I like
calculations on
the
it.
green bleeding into blue. That's what I want.
That's not how that works.
That's how it looks.
Green means
If
good.
the light is green, the trap is clean.
Green
All right.
just means that you have one constant BB
It's green,
dog
Justin.
biscuit across all seats.
It's fine.
That's plus or minus 3.
All right. Well, we're way over on our topic here. Any last thoughts, or I'm just going to hit this button. We're going to roll out.
Hit the button.
Yeah. Cover the space.
Button.
Power it accordingly. Do something fun.
Or
The
don't.
ceiling, 2x2.
Or not.
done.
Get it good enough.
Thanks for putting up with yet another episode of AV SuperFriends on Topic. You can contact us with questions, topic ideas, or general complaints at avsuperfriends.com.
Nice work, everyone. Sharp broadcast. Really good. Everyone on the floor as well. Really a lot of hustle. I liked it.
The opinions expressed by the AV SuperFriends are solely those of the individuals and do not represent their respective institutions, organizations, companies, or clients.